few minutes past 12. It's generally a good idea to just allow 2 to 5 minutes for people to join, and we get going at around that time. And yeah, we want to just make sure that we are sticking to the time. So we will try to push through.
Correct.
Um, so do we know that this recording is started?
It does shows on the top of the screen. It's recording.
Started, no? Yeah, looks fine. Yeah. Radhakrishna, will you be needing help with the slides, or can you manage to share from your system?
You can share it there. So I'll just go through it. The same slides actually.
Okay. Kishan,
Which
you
is
have.
there with you, right?
Yeah, I do have the slides.
Can you just open those? Just
One second.
Let us start. Kishan. Maximize it.
Yeah.
okay. This is the right one, Radhakrishna?
Yep, the same one. It's at very high level, but I'll go through it quickly from my end for the explanation.
Got it.
That's it. And
What is this?
from here it
Oh,
from here it is
Friends.
about you, I think so.
Oh, got it.
Content creation, not it is. Go to the next one, Kishore.
This is the old set of slides, Kishan. We don't need those slides.
These things are not required actually. Go up.
Yeah.
Only till that template only it is required.
Yeah.
Till slide 8, that's it.
Okay.
Slide
got
9,
it.
till 8 it is required.
Yeah,
Slide
remove
9
9.
onwards you can hide it.
Yeah, you can delete 9.
Everything. You just hide it or delete it. Yeah.
Delete it, yeah. Delete.
Delete.
So can we start?
Can we give 2 minutes, Radhakrishna? Is that okay with you?
Yep, sure.
Okay.
You should just go to the slide number 1. We'll start it in another 2 minutes. The next slide.
Oh, 1 second. So I'll initiate with a quick introduction, Radhakrishnan sir, and then I'll start sharing your slides. Will that work?
Yep, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Hey folks, good afternoon. So welcome everyone to our Bangalore event. So thank you so much for joining on a Saturday afternoon. And let me just initiate by giving a quick introduction about our Slack community. And to start the event, the topic for today is transforming customer support and support interaction using AI and Slack. Quick introduction about the Slack community. So people who have been using it, it's they are quite aware about it. It's just that for folks who have joined new or have started using new. So Slack community is a global network for professionals and enthusiasts who want to leverage Slack for collaboration and productivity. It provides a platform for knowledge sharing, networking, professional development. Trooper is the community chapter leader for Bangalore, and we are thriving to host events, share some resources, and foster engagement among all the tech enthusiasts around us. Uh, Let me just give you a quick walkthrough of the agenda for the event. What it will be in the first phase, we will have a quick introduction about the speakers. In the second phase, the speakers will take the floor and they'll share their thoughts and experiences around the transforming customer support and interactions. And finally, we'll open the floor for Q&As. Okay. I would request you guys, meanwhile, just keep our chat busy, right? Just share your quick introduction, what you do, where do you, what's your current role or things like that. Give a, basically, so that we can understand you better, have a meaningful interactions and share your questions. Yeah, shoot as many questions as possible so that we can pick it up towards the end of the event. Now, so let me just give a quick introduction about our first speaker, Mr. Radhakrishnan Bolini. So, good afternoon, sir. Welcome to our event. And Radhakrishnan Bolini is basically an AI ML expert with leading authority on conversational AI, specifically in customer experience automation. He has 20 plus years of experience in the entire industry. He excels in translating complex analytics into clear, actionable strategies that supports growth and operational integrity. Now, he's a very active speaker and an educational coach in the community. He helps various people and organizations to scale their thoughts. Next, our speaker is Rajesh Shanmugam, who is CEO of Trooper. Rajesh is a visionary tech entrepreneur dedicated to shaping the future of work. He has spent 16 years of his life building scalable enterprise software products. They are innovative so much so that they are deployed at top Fortune companies worldwide. He brings a wealth of expertise in leveraging AI technologies to enhance, business operation, and is very passionate about the transformative potential of AI-powered conversational apps, specifically for the workplaces. So on this call, we have close to 36 years of experience for next 1 hour. Make the best use case of it. And yeah, with that said, I'll just open the floor for Radhakrishnan sir. So, sir, please take your next steps for the event.
Yep. Go and open the slide one.
Yeah.
See, folks, the agenda for today is initially I'll talk very high level quickly about that what customer support domain and how it differs from customer support interactions. And then majorly we'll focus into how AI can support for customer support interactions, and then how AI and Slack work together, and how AI and Slack is going to help transforming customer support interactions better than any other competitors. A kind of that. And I just move on. Whereas customer support domain comes into picture, right? The key aspects of customer support domain is basically the channels of support, it in terms of phone support or email support or a live chat or self-services, a social media or community forums. And then the types of support, it would be mostly into a kind of proactive support where reaching out customers to prevent the issues before they arise, or reactive support where addressing customer initiated queries or complaints, or a technical support which specializes in assisting the troubleshooting and resolving the product specific or technical issues. And then whereas customer support technology is coming into picture, we have that CRM systems and then help desk software and then chatbots and AI assistants, knowledge management systems which create and maintain self-help resources for the customers. And then there are many omni-channel support came and recent tool which comes with unified tools like Genesis or Twilio Flex, which can consolidate the communication kind of that. And then the customer support maintenance comes into picture. It would be a kind of FTR, which is first response time, where time taken to respond to a customer query, and then first call resolution, where percentage of issues resolved in the first interaction, and then net promoter score, which measures customer satisfaction and loyalty, and customer satisfaction score, which is CSAT, the direct feedback on your customer support interactions, and then average handle time, where time spent in resolving customer issues, and then ticket volume and backlog. This is how it goes. Whereas AI come into picture at very high level in terms of automating customer support. Conceptually, we have natural language processing, which powers with chatbot and virtual assistant for understanding customer queries, and sentiment analysis, which analyzes tone in customer communications to prioritize the issues. And then with AI, we can build the self-learning systems uh, based on the fast interactions, improving the response accuracy over time, a kind of that. And then automating the repetitive tasks in terms of ticket categorization, routing, and follow-ups. And whereas the current trends and innovations comes into picture in terms of customer support, the personalization, voice over AI, predictive support, real-time collaborations, and augmented reality, which visual guidance for resolving technical issues, kind of that. As on today, up to my knowledge, the challenges in customer support was balancing automation with human touch, managing high query volumes during peak times, ensuring consistent support across multiple channels, and then maintaining data security complaints in terms of GDPR, HIPAA, kind of that, retaining training skills for customer support agents, kind of that. And then, Kishan, can you go to the next one? So this is about bit over that customer support domain. And whereas customer support interactions concern, right? No, the previous one, Kishan. Yeah. Whereas customer support interactions comes into picture, our key components would be mode of interactions, human to human interaction, and then human to machine interaction. And how it happened, the meaning like human to human interactions were conversations with customer support agents, and then either over phone or in person or via live chat, which I was explaining in the previous slide as part of the customer support interactions. And then human to machine interaction, where you interact with automated systems like chatbots or interactive voice response systems or a self-responsive portal. This would be that mode of interaction, how it happens. The types of customer queries comes into picture as part of these interactions. It would be informational, whereas questions seeking guidance, how do I reset my password, kind of that. And then the transactional, inquiries about orders, refunds, or services. For example, like when will my package arrive, kind of thing. And then technical, it's a kind of support for troubleshooting products or services, whereas my internet is not working, how do I troubleshoot, kind of that. And then feedback and complaints comes into picture. Customer inputs about experiences, including dissatisfaction or issues with product or services. And whereas stages of customer support interactions, it comes into picture. Initiation, where the customer initiates contact through support channel, kind like a phone or email or a chat. And automated systems may ask for you initial input to categorize or route the request. And routing is automated routing or agent-based routing. Based on the nature of the query, it is directed to the appropriate department like agent or chatbot. And whereas agent-based routing, queries requiring expertise escalation are routed to the skilled agents, kind of that. And then engagement, the customers and agent engage in problem solving or information sharing. Communication must be clear in between. and then it would be empathetic or solution focused kind of that. And whereas resolution comes into picture, customers' issues resolved either in the first interaction or over multiple touch points. Resolutions may involve troubleshooting steps or provide updates or timelines, issuing refunds, replacements, or escalations kind of that. And follow up, it's optional but valuable in terms of building trust. A follow up can be a feedback or request in confirmation resolution. And then channels of interaction, which is very similar, like as I told you earlier, as part of customer support. A phone support, which may be direct or personal or ideal for urgent and complex issues, may involve IVR system for routing kind of that. Live chat, email support, social media, self-service, and on-site visits. And whereas the today challenges how AI can be support in terms of customer support interactions. Chatbots and virtual assistants handle common queries and provide 24/7 availability. And the concept of sentiment analysis identifies customer mood or frustration for the prioritization. And then predictive analytics anticipate the customer issues based on the historic data. And voice recognition simplifies IVR navigation or enable handle-free communications. And challenges as on today is a kind of overuse of AI may reduce the personalization, and managing high volumes, peak times, or crises may overwhelm support teams, and customer frustration, delays, or repeated explanations or poor routing can exaggerate these kind of issues. And agent training, ensuring agents remain skilled in communication or technical knowledge, kind of that. And Kishore, can you go to the next slide? Kishan, next slide. No, before one. No, just before. Here. No, that one only. I think like it was reversed. Go to this previous. No? What is this one? Actually, just like I try to give a quick overview on like how customer support domain and customer support interactions can uh, differ each other in terms of scope, focus, objective, duration, level, and key elements. For example, perspective. Customer support domain mostly into broad and systematic, and then where it has specific or moment focused in terms of interaction come into picture. And whereas domain comes, it is infrastructure, tools, and processes, whereas interactions comes into picture, it is real-time communication and issues resolution. Uh, so this is pretty much over like what I displayed in the slide. Let us go quickly into the AI one. Uh, Kishore, can you go that the next slide? Not this AI and Slack. Go to the before one. This one. AI for customer support. Yes. See, how AI can help customer support interactions. It is a kind of automating repetitive tasks. How it can handle is that auto-responding AI chatbots answers frequent asked questions, a kind of what is your return policy, or ticket creation, where automatically log customer queries into ticket systems, or categorization and tagging, where AI classifies tickets based on the issue type and urgency. It impacts reducing the workload for human agents, and it speed up the resolution time for the routine issues. And then the next one is chatbots or virtual assistants. It would be a kind of text-based chatbots or voice assistants or hybrid chatbots. A text-based chatbots assist customers on websites, apps, or social media. Voice assistants are AI tools like Google Assistant or Alexa can handle spoken queries, and even like moreover like transformational AI, conversational AI was underlying technology in it. And then hybrid chatbots, it switch to human agents seamlessly when complex queries arise. For examples, a chat GPT assist in drafting personalized responses or troubleshooting steps. As in today, intercom or drift boards engages users with predefined workflows and answers. And it benefits that enhancing the availability and reducing wait times, and then it handles high volumes of customer inquiries efficiently. And whereas sentiment analysis comes into picture, it identifies negative sentiments, a kind of frustration or anger in text or voice, alerts the human agents for intervention in real time, and it prioritizes queries based on the emotional tone. So it improves the customer experience by addressing negative sentiment proactively and then ensuring critical issues are escalating quickly. And then whereas personalization and customer interactions comes into picture, it offers product recommendations or troubleshooting steps based on customer profiles. Great customers by name acknowledge their history, a kind of, if you say that, hi John, I see you recently ordered a laptop, how can I assist? It's go and help. It greets. That's the kind of greeting it took. It builds customer trust and loyalty through tailored interactions and enhances effectiveness support by delivering relevant solutions. And then predictive analytics for proactive support, a kind of monitoring patterns in terms of frequent support queries or predict potential problems. It provides proactive solutions, notifying customers for potential services or disruptions. It recommends preventive maintenance based on the usage data so that you can reduce the number of incoming support tickets and enhancing customer satisfaction by addressing issues proactively. And then real-time translation, it translates customer queries and agents response time in real time, and it supports global customers based on it's a kind of entire global customer basis in continuously or seamlessly. In that way, it expands support and into international markets and then reduces dependency and specialize the language support terms. Self-service enhancements is empowering customers to resolve issues independently by creating intelligent, searchable knowledge bases with AI indexing. And then you can have the power. It comes with AI-powered virtual assistants that guide users through troubleshooting steps, and then it provide interactive FAQ kind of system. And then AI-driven ticketing management, where it optimizes ticket process by prioritizing tickets and then routing and escalation. And then real-time recommendations for agents. AI acts as a support tool for agents by providing instant suggestions or insights, by recommending responses or solutions based on the similar past cases, or highlighting relevant knowledge base articles or troubleshoot steps. It suggests upselling or cross-selling opportunities based on the customer behavior kind of thing. And then the feedback collection and analysis, AI automates the process of collecting, analyzing customer feedback to improve the support by it sends the post interaction surveys automatically, and then it analyzes feedback for customer actionable insights, and it identifies trends in customer satisfaction and dissatisfaction. Logically, the technologies in terms of AI, if I want to mention exclusively, NLP, which is a natural language processing, and then generative AI, machine learning, predictive analytics, voice recognition, is majorly plays role whereas AI technology consideration. And then I feel that there are certain kind of challenges in terms of solutions. The challenges is in terms of over automation, where excessive reliance on AI may be interactions impersonal, whereas we are into customer support interactions. And then data privacy concerns, handling sensitive customer data raises complaints of challenges. Complex queries, AI may struggle with ambiguous or multi-layered problems that need to be handled with the human support. And adoption barriers, resistance to adopting AI tools among support teams was a big barrier as of today. And the solutions, how it were evolving, is that combining AI and human agents for a hybrid approach. And then we are going to use a secure GDPR compliant AI tools, protect the customer data. And then we are continuously training AI models with real world data for improving accuracy. And then the providing training and support to the teams for smooth adoption in terms of customer support teams. And then whereas the benefits in having AI into customer support interactions coming into picture, it improves the efficiency, it enhances customer satisfaction, and then you can scale up. It saves the cost, and then system can be available 24/7. And maybe if I can give a couple of examples, we have ChatGPT, which assists drafting responses and generating a troubleshooting steps. Zendesk AI or Live Person or IBM Watson Assistant, Freshdeck AI, kind of that. These are other tools. And then I'll come to uh, Kishore. Can you move on to next slide where AI and Slack? Yep. Here I'm talking about that automation of repetitive tasks, AI-powered chatbots, and then advanced search and insights, team collaboration and productivity and integration with AI tools, which is similarly like what I explained you previously AI with and how AI and Slack is working by automating repetitive tasks in terms of workflow automation, where AI-powered Slack bots can automate routine tasks like reminders, notifications, and schedulings. Example, a bot reminds team member about daily stand-ups or upcoming deadlines, kind of that. And message sorting or prioritization, AI can help you categorize or prioritize messages based on the importance or urgency. And whereas the AI-powered chatbots comes, Slack allows integrating AI-driven bots for specific tasks. A kind of customer support bots like Zendesk or Intercom integrated into Slack can respond to customer queries or escalate them to the agents, kind of that. HR or IT support bots like Workbot handle employee requests such as resetting passwords or applying leaves or tracking HR policies, kind of that. And then AI chatbots using NLP to understand and respond user queries more conversational and in terms of accurately. And then advanced search and insights, where I was mentioning that AI enhances Slack's research capability by using machine learning to provide context aware suggestions, offering predictive results based on users' past activities or queries. The knowledge discovery AI helps surface uh, relevant documents, conversations, or link with Slack that users might need. And you know that well about the Slack community, where team collaboration and productivity come into picture. AI-powered scheduling tools like Clockwise or Google Calendar integration with use AI to suggest optimal meeting times for all participants. And then a sentiment analysis, AI can monitor the team sentiment and engagement by analyzing communication patterns, identifying issues, etc. And the smart summarization AI tools can summarize long conversations or threads to save time. And integration with AI tools, we were talking about that project manager Slack supports a wide range of AI-based integrations. Functionalities maybe at a high level, it's a project management and then AI assistant and analytics, kind of that. And there are many examples. If I can talk about Chat GPT for Slack, which allows user to ask questions, generate text, and brainstorm with Slack. And then Zoom.ai, which automates meeting schedule and provides insight about the meeting attendees. And then Donut, which uses AI to facilitate team bonding, scheduling casual meets up between the team members. And then Poly, AI-powered polling tool for gathering team feedback directly in Slack. Leo for Feedly, like AI assistant monitoring trends and delivering relevant news into Slack, kind of that. And maybe if I can tell you like how do you benefit using AI in Slack, you can enhance efficiency by automating repetitive tasks, saving time for more uh, more in terms of critical work. Improved collaboration, AI tools fast a kind of AI tools can provide that better communication and teamwork by reducing the informational silos, a kind of information silos, which as part of moving the communication one to another, where it would turn into silo. Faster decision making, instant insight and data delivery improve your speed of quality and decision making. And then whereas it comes into scalability, AI allows the teams to scale operations without adding manual overhead. And then personalization, it tailors stack experiences by learning user preferences and habits, kind of that. And there are certain kind of slacks which I feel that uh, there are certain kind of challenges where we have seen AI in Slack. Data privacy concerns, where integrating AI tools may raise concerns about data security and compliance. It was very frequent and phenomenal with every customer you go through. And the learning curve, where adopting AI-powered features might require training for each team member within the customer support or interactions existing team. And then over reliance on automation, which I was explaining you earlier, and then integrating the complexity, that's also fine. And if I talk about the feature of AI and Slack, a kind of context-aware conversations, AI will become more intuitive in understanding user context and provide intelligent suggestions. And proactive AI assistants, where bots will take initiative by offering insights or reminders before they requested. And then enhanced security, we have AI-powered cybersecurity tools will strengthen Slack's compliance and data protection. And deep learning integration, we have deep learning NLP, all these integrations come up with the features like real-time language translation, voice to text, voice to voice, or one language to another language, and then predictive task management, kind of that. So, uh,
Thank you here for sharing some insightful thoughts on your experience with respect to AI in Slack and how it can transform the customer support interaction. So, Raj, good afternoon. Welcome to.
no,
Thank you for joining the event.
Ki-
And
Kishan,
yeah,
bef- before stepping into Raj, just give me 2 more minutes so that I can
sure.
explain that why customers want to go with AI with Slack, how it can transform better than the other competitors. What advantage AI and Slack provide, and what would be the limitation of customer? Then maybe like I'll quickly do that. See, whereas AI plus Slack in terms of competitor, right? In terms of collaboration, AI plus Slack is real-time teamwork and knowledge sharing, where competitors are limited to collaboration tools alone. And in terms of personalization, AI plus Slack can context-aware and customer-specific responses, and then where competitors are limited in terms of static scripts and templates. And automation, AI bots automation, ticketing, routing, and repetitive tasks can bring together with AI plus Slack. It is partial or manual workflows when look at the other competitors. And proactive, AI predicts and prevents issues. And whereas look at the competitors, it's almost a kind of reactive support models. And omni-channel integration seamless across platform via Slack. And then it is fragmented across different tools, whereas competitors concern. Scalability, it is highly scalable with AI-driven automation. Scalability is limited in terms of limited by requiring more manual efforts in terms of where we consider for other competitors. Analytics, real-time AI-powered insights in Slack. Post-interaction analytics in separate tools are available in terms of the competitors. That's how I say that why AI and Slack outperforms than other competitors. Okay, Kishore, take it up.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for the last notes. Now I hand over the floor to Raj. Raj, please.
Yeah, thank you for that, Radhakrishna's fantastic introduction to AI in Slack. Um, I see some questions coming up in chat. I just want to let everyone know that Radhakrishna sir and myself will be around to answer some of your questions um, at the end of this session. So thank you for your patience on that. Meanwhile, Radhakrishna, if you want to be able to answer those questions yourself on chat, that's also fine.
No, rather let's finish your session so that we can take it that the top questions.
Sounds good. Thank you. So, taking over from what Radhakrishna sir explained about application of AI within the context of Slack, I want to talk and throw some light around how you can exactly do that. So, I come from the experience of having implemented AI agents for service teams around the world. We work with a lot of customers, so far around 600 customers who have deployed some form of AI and automation into their help desks. So I want to distill all of that information and share with all of you what would be an actionable set of steps if you're just getting started on where you can start and get the maximum returns on your invested time and resources in terms of automation in your existing help desk. So Just to set the context here again, I mean, enterprises need to be able to handle complex and growing support demands without having to linearly scale the investment in support team. Being more efficient and deploying more automation is a necessity. And AI agents can help you achieve that. AI agents can help scale the service operations primarily by automating repetitive tasks, but the capabilities are getting more and more interesting as there are more technological breakthroughs happening in generative AI. We'll talk a little bit about that. And today's session is, I want to focus primarily on just the step-by-step playbook. So I'm hoping at the end of this session, people in this audience can actually go back and just, think about those strategies and see if you could, potentially deploy some of them either in your teams or in the teams you're working with and start to see some results. So why exactly AI agents, right? I mean, if you think of the historical context, um, you know, people are used to filling up forms when they have a problem, right? You want to report an issue. Traditionally, you're asked to fill up a form that sits in an internal portal, or if you're a customer, you have like a support portal where you have to go and file a ticket. Versus the natural interaction with a human-like bot is obviously a significantly improved user experience. And of course, AI agents are going to be available all the time for you. You don't have to wait for the availability of service representatives. And potentially, if you've trained your service team has actually trained the AI agents appropriately, it's able to give instant resolutions to a vast variety of different types of requests. So how does a AI agent really fit into the scheme of things, right? I mean, you may say you already have Slack, and people are asking questions, and on the other side you have your ticketing system. You also have a whole bunch of knowledge sources. Maybe you have Notion documents, you have SharePoints, maybe you have Conference documents, maybe you just have like a bunch of PDFs or some websites where you have information that your service teams use to learn about how to service customers, right? Now, the AI agents mimic human behavior in that they learn from the information that you provide to them. With the advent of generative AI, you're able to just dump a whole bunch of structured and unstructured information to train these AI agents and also connect them to your ticketing system. So, of course, they're not going to be able to handle 100% of the requests. So when they are not able to, they just seamlessly hand over by creating a ticket in your ticketing system. So the benefit of this is, of course, you want to maximize the deflection rates. You want to see how much your customers can self-serve. Depending on your use case, your goals might be different, your targets might be different, but you also want to maximize the rate of acceleration. Like if your AI agents are not able to, fully satisfactorily respond to customer requests, it should at least be able to provide some useful information that can help them in some ways before somebody from the service team is able to come attend to that issue. So overall, the goal is to maximize deflection and automation while at the same time improving user experience and satisfaction. All right, so let's get started. I mean, if you are going to deploy AI agents into your help desk, so it might be IT service desk, it might be HR help desk, it might be a customer service desk. Irrespective of the nature of the request that you're handling, AI agents can be trained to automatically understand the different types of requests that they will receive and intercept and be able to answer them. So how do you understand, first of all, make the AI agents understand the nature of requests that they're supposed to intercept? So the first thing that you have to do before you get started with a project like this is to understand historical information, right? Assess your existing service desk. Now, if you're a small team, this might not be a lot of information, but in most scenarios, you are actually serving customers for quite a long period of time, maybe several years. In that case, you have tons of information in your existing service desk. So, manually kind of finding patterns in them or using traditional methods can be not very efficient. But with the advent of generative AI, you're able to deploy some of those techniques to identify patterns almost instantly from vast amounts of data that might be there in your service desk. So that's exactly where you need to start to understand the nature of requests that you have traditionally processed in your service desk. So you find using these tools, for example, the top repetitive queries that you have addressed, maybe 30% of the queries that your service desk has addressed is in the topic of password resets, right? And in case of like a customer success team, it might be that 40% of the requests that you have addressed is regarding status of your order. So I mean, you identify these top repetitive topics, and once you have identified these topics, you have to figure out how to classify them based on the nature of those requests. Like typically at a super high level, you can think of requests to be either information retrieval. Somebody's just asking about, hey, what's the return policy, right? Or somebody's asking about information from a data source. Hey, what's the status of my order? Can you reset my password, right? So those are actions that have been taken in a backend system. Or the third category is, of course, it's a complex nature of request that requires a human touch. So, if you're thinking of a help desk that's manned by AI agents, the agents need to be able to seamlessly hand over those kinds of requests to human agents, right? So, how do you identify these? So, your goal is to maximize the automation potential once you've identified the types of requests, and maybe maximum look at the opportunities of automation in the information retrieval category, and look at the potential for automation inside the actions taking category as well. So when you start with information retrieval, the easiest thing is obviously to be able to teach the agents to answer such questions excuse me, answer such questions from your knowledge base. But one common thing that we have seen across the board is every customer that we have worked with is complaining about not having quality knowledge base, right? I mean, it's somewhere between having something that's not complete to having nothing at all. So how do you address that? I mean, if this is a universal problem, of course, AI should be able to help address, create, solve that. And the way to do that is because now you identified the top information retrieval queries, AI can help generate the answers for them. And these are not just answers based on world's information. You have taught the AI agents some information about your business context, and using that context, it's able to generate knowledge articles. So now you have almost like magic analyzed all of your existing tickets in your service desk and automatically created a bunch of knowledge articles. So you have in the first step already created enough information for your AI agents to be able to automate at least some percentage of customer requests. So now you have to decide, how are we going to create these AI agents, right? You have the information that you potentially could use to automate a significant percentage of incoming requests. Now you can go ahead and build the AI agent yourself. So there are tons of resources online to create your own AI agents. So there is some information on the screen that can help you understand what kind of tools and resources that you need to use to build your own internal AI agents. Or you can use a purpose-built AI agent for service automation. Enjo is one of those tools. There are several in the market. You can look at how you can use some of them to train on your company information. Once you've decided on the AI agent platform, now the next step is to connect this platform into your knowledge sources. So first of all, if you don't have any knowledge source, you just created the knowledge source by deploying AI to generate that for you. So you can use that as a starting point, right? Maybe you put that into a Word document, or you put that into some files that you can just use to train the AI agents. And then you connect your AI agents to your ticketing system. Maybe you're using Jira or ServiceNow if you are like an internal help desk. If you're a customer service help desk, maybe you're using Salesforce or Zendesk. So connect that, so there is like a seamless path for human escalation that the AI agents can understand, and then deploy it into Slack, right? So you have people in your team, especially for internal help desk, using Slack to report issues. Now, if you connect it to Slack, people can ask questions either directly to the bot, or they can ask questions via a channel where you have deployed the AI agent, and the AI agent can actually answer those questions on your behalf. So both are possible. And once you have connected all of your systems, the next step is to see if you can do better. So your service team is already using a ticketing system. Let's say that in this case you're using Jira. You can also deploy some of the AI capabilities to exist within your ticketing system, right? So Atlassian has, for example, a bunch of AI capabilities that help agents to see some context of the tickets that they're looking at. Similarly, most ticketing systems have built-in AI capabilities, or if you're going with an external third-party vendor, they might also have some capabilities that can sit inside your existing ticketing system. So this is what in the industry is called as the headless approach. A headless approach is when you deploy a solution that doesn't have its own interface. It's just simply sitting embedded within your existing systems, so you don't have to learn new interfaces to interact with it. So once you have done all of this, the next step is to pilot and iterate, right? So you want to time slice how you want to deploy the solution. You want to take up all of these learnings. You have automated knowledge generated. You have selected a AI agent platform. You have connected the platform to your systems, and now it's time to deploy and look at how it is working. Continuously collect feedback. Maybe you're able to achieve 5% automation on day one, and just have some targets. Like this is not a predefined magic number. It depends entirely on your use case and the kind of systems and knowledge sources that you have access to. Have a target and work towards that. Let's assume for this case, that you have a target of 20%. You start at 5, and then you can just continuously get feedback to have the AI agent platform continuously learn from that feedback, and march towards that 20% automation. When you have the confidence, let's say that 20% is the number, the magic number. When you have the confidence and you have achieved the 20% number, now it's time for a full rollout. You can deploy it across your organization, allow everybody in the team to access the solution, and then you can sort of go from there. There might be scope for more automation beyond 20%. Maybe you can go all the way up to 60-90%. It depends on your use case again. But in this process, we have to be careful to train and enable both the service team and the end users. The service team needs to be educated on how to optimally leverage the AI platform, maintain a constant oversight of the AI agents interactions, and also handle escalations. If there are some escalations about the nature of interaction with the AI agent, you need to have like a set process for engaging with those escalations. And also the end users need to know that now they can actually interact with the AI agent to get some help. So there needs to be some expectation setting. They need to know how to interact. They need to know what are the nature of requests that the AI agents can handle, things like that. And once you have deployed the solution, obviously, you have to have a data-driven monitoring. The key metrics will differ again, use case by use case. But in most use cases, people want to see that they're able to or maximize deflection rates, right? What percentage of the requests in my help desk the AI agent is able to fully and satisfactorily answer and resolve. And then you can also see if it's helping. Maybe the classification of the ticket automatically is helping save some time, and maybe the fact that it asked some clarifying questions to collect additional information helped save some time. So all of those can actually add up, and that can be acceleration of the resolution of the ticket. So you might be able to measure that, and you should be able to measure time to resolution, user satisfaction, whatever makes a difference in terms of the business ROI of the deployment. Of course, none of this is possible if you are not able to securely train your agents. So the AI agents need to be trained on data that is devoid of any kind of PII or sensitive information, and also it needs to be able to handle the user queries in such a way that it's anonymizing them before it's using it in resolving the query. It also needs to ensure that none of this data is going beyond the scope of what the company's guardrails in ensuring that none of the company data is used to train any third-party LLMs. Those are critical for the organization's security posture. Being able to filter the content, have a very strong set of guardrails around how the AI agents will behave, and giving all the tools to the security team or maybe even the admin team to be able to configure and manage that is very critical. And also the vendor, if you're choosing to work with a vendor, make sure that they are following industry standard processes, including ISO, SOC, and SOC 2 and GDPR compliance. So you can do more than what I have described so far. Agentic AI is the future of how AI agents are able to reason and proactively take action. So once you have done some of the obvious and basics in terms of automation using AI agents, you can scale it up by giving it capabilities to take action. Some of the examples like order status inquiry, password resets. So simple examples, but you can go much beyond that and allow your AI agents to reason and take action. You can also support, allow the AI agents to support multimodal interactions. Learn from YouTube videos, answer questions that have images in them or screenshots typically, right? And of course have multilingual support. Language models are now getting better at non-English language interpretations, so that's going to be something that's essential as well as part of the solution. And then once you have achieved all of the obvious optimizations for automation, you have to be able to go beyond that to be able to fine tune your solution based on just not just your domain information but also your company information. There needs to be like a feedback loop that's continuously optimizing based on what it's learned so far. So that's critical to go beyond the basics. And as you all know, it's generative AI is a rapidly evolving field. There is tons and tons of new frameworks and best practices that are emerging out of it, and that the team needs to stay constantly current with all of that. So, I mean, I would stop here. There are some, case studies that we can talk about, but this is so far in terms of like, if you are planning to get started with deploying an AI agent in your service desk, how you should approach it. I want to just take 2 minutes to show how this looks in Slack. So here is a Slack where I have deployed the Enjo AI agent. So for example, there is somebody who's asking ID support request that says, I need help with setting a Wi-Fi for guests who come to the company. It's automatically found the answer from what is this in this case, a knowledge source and also Confluence, right? You can click on this to see it picked up this information from a Confluence document, and it also picked up from other sources as well. So it can find information from different places, put them all together and answer in like a chat GPT like fashion, as you can see here. In some cases, of course, it's not able to answer the question, hey, I need help with upgrading my laptop. It determines that it's something that the service team needs to handle and creates a ticket automatically. And then any further conversation happening here is, syncing with the ticket. So you can see here that, the user is given additional information about the laptop. And if you go into the ticket, you will see that that information is captured as well. So subsequently, if the agent says, hey, this is done, so that information comes back to the user in Slack. So you can think of this AI agent to be um, the first interface to your end customers. When it's able to answer and resolve the questions, it's just doing that immediately. But when it's not, it's seamlessly handing over to the service team, and the service team takes action in the ticketing system, and that comes back via the AI agent into Slack or other interfaces. So with that, I'll we can stop here and open up for questions.
Yep, Rajesh, let me finish the questions one by one.
Sure.
It has taken how it come. See, the first question, right? See, complexity versus generalization is what which I understand from one of the question where the gentleman is asking that the specific use cases for each Uber Eats, Zomato, or Myntra, etc. In terms of one challenges can be one person can face an issue and then other person can be the other kind of that. It is a problem of complexity versus generalization in terms of me, whereas consumer market simplicity and then uh, if you talk about complex domains, right, CRM, SaaS, insurances, etc., it is subjective to product perception. Whereas in CRM or a kind of white table SaaS, how users interact with system depends on their unique business process. No two users or business operate the same way, even if they use the same tool. So that's how I'm going to tell that it's a kind of subjective to product perception. And then unstructured data, where insurance or similar industries deal with a mixture of legal language, policies, exceptions, and subjective decision making, kind of that. And non-standard workflows, a kind of industry is often lack of uniform process, making it difficult to build training data or defining automation codes. And I can have certain challenges in terms of AI-wide struggle. Because lack of generalized data, where AI thrives on large data sets with consistent patterns. Complex domains or patterns are sparse or high variable, reducing the predictive accuracy. And then the dynamic context, each query may require context-specific decision making or external integrations. For example, querying third-party system in SaaS or cross-reference regulations in insurance, kind of that. And knowledge graph, in-depth industry knowledge or organization-specific nuances cannot be easily generalized into pre-trained AI models. So that knowledge graph depth is where which AI can struggle sometimes. And then customization overhead, building AI workflows for each unique use case becomes resource intensive and difficult to scale. So these are places bit AI is in evolving stage and it struggle because of few gaps. And for the solution, right, if you want to approach a solution for that, you focus on hybrid AI system where you can combine AI automation for simpler, repeatable tasks with human in the loop system for edge cases and unique scenarios. And you implement escalation pathways where AI gathers context but escalates to human for subjective decisions. So, and the dynamic anthropology or contextual AI, you can leverage the domain-specific knowledge graphs and ontology-based approaches to tailor AI responses dynamically to a user context. Maybe if I want to quote some examples, a CRM could be a CRM, you can use it as a contextual embeddings to adapt to a specific terminology or workflows of each business which we want to define. And it's a kind of learning, I can call it as a federated learning or a kind of verticalization. Use federated learning to improve models based on the data for multiple users without compromising privacy. And then you create vertical specific models like CRM focused AI or insurance focused AI to address unique industry challenges. And then whereas I can talk about model frameworks, right? For that, you design support AI as a modular system where business cases can customize or plug and place certain components based on their workflows. If I want to quote an example, an insurance client might add a claims verification module, while SaaS business might opt for workflow automation support, kind of that. And feedback loops and continuous learning, you have to implement a kind of standard feedback mechanisms where users can correct AI actions, enabling continuous learning and adoption to those unique use cases. And you need to play a little bit of strategic insight in terms of market segmentation and a kind of first mover advantage. I think that would be the answer for the detailed first question asked by Mr. Sai Rutvik. You are fine, or you are?
The answer looks great. I mean that is a couple. These were a couple of things at least we have been trying to do as well. Still, I mean, lacking on a couple of things as well. So one specific thing that we have observed along through our journey was not just about the technical issues, but there are two problems that we are trying to solve. One is to ensure that we have better technology day by day, and we have smart people who will be doing that. And I think AI is also evolving, as you have rightly said. But changing the customer intent has become a big pain, because even today a lot of people who are technology enthusiasts still believe that, hey, you know what, if I were ever to do something with an, I mean, talk some to an AI, I would prefer to go to a human agent, because the intent of self-serve versus getting the problem solved, or
Sorry, in the
and
mean of
solving.
time, I'll tell you. I understand your problem. Very simple. See,
Yeah.
a designer or the SME of AI in that particular organization should be in a situation to convey or sell AI properly to the customer in terms of its capability versus limitation. See, for a layman or a customer, they feel that, I'll quote you a very simple example. One of the company recently uh, focusing on code conversion through AI. Okay, they are almost like 18 years healthcare product they built in 18 years. 18 years they didn't look back at their technology and bit of web forms and JavaScript technology. They used it, and now it is going to retire from Microsoft end. And there are a lot of business logics, everything involved, and no proper documentation, nothing else, no persons. Now they they went back to their AI director and asked that, can AI solve this? He simply accepted that, saying, yeah, I can do the code conversion through AI. The maturity of a solution architect in terms of AI, right? You should aware that what would be the problem, what AI can do, what cannot do. See so that would be a very simple answer for your solution. See, customer may come in very different aspect. Customer think, or even our boss think, even though we are into AI, our boss who is a AI leader who might not be a technology person in AI can think that, okay, AI can solve this, AI can solve this. It is the responsibility of the designer or solution architect who need to convey that what AI can do, what not. And it is simply that if Sai Ritik is leading that AI, so you can say that this is what it happened with AI, this much only is. Then we may able to convey that what is upcoming, kind of it.
That is fantastic articulation. I think Radhakrishna, I would, double down and just say, the solution architects play a very key role. Traditionally, chatbot implementations have always been solutioning heavy, right? It's not like a one solution fits all. That does not change with the advent of generative AI. What I strongly feel is generative AI has shortened the path to implementation and sort of like exponentially expanded the potential for automation, but there is still a lot of solutioning to be done, right? So that's a very critical role, so I agree with that. So in the interest of time, I also want to take a couple of more questions that I can see on the chat, and then we'll wind up there. So what are some of the common missteps that companies make when introducing AI for customer support? I think the most, I mean, even before deploying, I think the biggest thing in the minds of in minds of customers who are trying to do that is security, right? They want to make sure that number one, no sensitive information is getting exposed. That can be that can be the number one thing, and they also they don't want the AI agents to hallucinate,
No.
even in like a very small percentage of cases. So that's the top of mind for most people. I think one thing that you can definitely do is start small with a smaller scope. Make sure that the AI agent platform that you're using is has got sufficient guardrails to double check. Guardrails are usually built into the foundation models. There is organizational guardrails that you should be able to deploy on top of the foundation models to be able to have company specific restrictions.
Rajesh,
Yeah,
I think his question is in a different way actually. He's asking that common missteps in companies
right.
when they are introducing AI into customer support and how they need to avoid. It's a more technically they're asking that what is the misstep, what would be the solution in kind of that.
Right. Right. I'll come to
Maybe
that.
like a
Sure. I'll let
okay.
you pitch in as well, Radhakrishna, after this. So, and the yeah. So, and I would definitely, at least in the implementations that we do, we generally start small with the scope of the topics that it can answer, and also the nature of interaction. Right. I mean, we are not saying, hey, I am the know-it-all AI agent. Ask me anything, I'll be able to help you. The path to deployment has to be in a way where, hey, I'm an AI agent. While you're waiting for somebody from the team to respond to your query, here is some useful information that I found. So we have deployed that strategy, which is worked fantastically well in all channels, especially when somebody is actually writing an email, for example. You don't want to go ahead and say, here is the answer to your question, and think of it as a deflection, but rather like always treat everything as being targeted towards the human agent team by default, at least in the initial phase, while you're actually helping address some of the queries. And if the end user finds it useful, it's great. But otherwise, they can still wait for the humans to respond. Radhakrishna, you want to pitch in? You were saying something.
No, that's fine actually. Like whatever it is, I think like Rajesh, I need to move on. Maybe like one question is there for which is exclusively asked for me that what are the
Go ahead.
advancements can we expect in AI for customer support in next 5 years? Maybe let me answer this and then I'll leave.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. See, if we consider next 5 years, right, we can see significant advances maybe uh, in terms of your proactive issue resolutions, where it might you can think of that real-time anomaly detection. AI systems will monitor customer behavior and system performance in real time and identify potential issues, kind of downtime classification before they escalate, and a dynamic support prioritization. The predictive models will forecast which customers are likely to churn and need to additional assistance and prompt agents to intervene proactively, kind of that. And then a customer journey optimization might happen in terms of path prediction or intent prediction. AI will analyze past interactions and customer data to predict and optimize in the next steps in customer journey. Or AI will become better at predicting the intent behind a query even before customers and historical data. And resource forecasting, it's happening. It might come a bit more. And then the context aware models will come. And along with the multimodal, you can see a lot in this area. And then the self-learning systems with continuous improvement and customer specific models will come as part of this aspect. And then advanced personalization will come into picture in terms of hyper personalization support or adaptive tone and style. AI will adjust its tone and communication style based on the customer preferences, sentiment, and cultural background. A kind of that. And sentiment and emotional intelligence, a kind of advanced sentiment analysis where AI will analyze the sentiment in real time with higher accuracy, identifying suitable emotional cues and adjusting responses accordingly. And then it simulates that empathetic responses by providing reassurance or understanding of sensitive situations, kind of that. And multilingual or cross AI cultural, we have it's already in the pitch of multi-large language models, where you can go into real-time nonsense translations. AI will deliver translations that are accountable for a kind of cultural nuances, slang, and idiomatic expressions, enhancing the global support and cultural context understanding by incorporating cultural insights to provide contextual approach responses, kind of that. And automation and human collaboration come more into hybrid model and dynamic workflows. And then predictive customer behavior also, it will improve a lot in terms of loyalty, and then or likelihood of specific complaints, or enabling business to create a proactive strategies, kind of that. And AI driven knowledge management would be the other way in terms of contextual knowledge delivery. And voice and visual support innovations might come into picture, and then ethical and responsible AI will come into support. And technological aspect, it is more evolving in terms of agentic approach and AGI and multi-large language models. You can see that it can redefine entire customer support by moving from reactive problem solving to proactive engagement, and it creating seamless or efficient and more personalized customer experience, which businesses can adopt.
All right. Always a pleasure talking to you, Radhakrishna. There is so much that we learned from your insights. Thank you for joining this call. I know there are some questions that we could not address. We'll try our best to, do better next time. Thank you.
Maybe let me ask Rajesh.
Yeah.
Utkarsh, I think you are the person, right? Is it, you are good with it, or like you need to know any specific way? It is Utkarsh Singh or someone who posted this? Okay.
Yeah. This helped a lot. Your insights to obtaining the answers.
You see, people who want to look for advanced AI, how it is coming up, right? You can better to follow the Medium.
Okay.
Medium is a kind of a blog channel, or the LinkedIn is the other place where professionals used to post. But that is really whom your network matters.
Yeah, Medium has a great history
If it is a
of
LinkedIn and Medium,
articulating
you can follow
information.
the Medium in terms of
Yeah.
AI. Yep.
Got it.
Many people come up with the
Any
newsletters. It depends on their maturity.
any specific blog you would want to recommend, probably, which we can
That's
go
what I told, that Medium.
on Medium. Within Medium, what
Yep.
should I search for? Probably
It is
any
a Medium
blog
only,
title.
medium.com. That is Medium.
Medium is a platform.
Maybe
I got it. Any specific blog put in over there with that headline or title?
There is no as such that specific blogs, because each one comes with the present only up to their expertise.
Got it. Understood.
So the problem is, if you go to any blog, right? If you come to my blog, you get only my expertise. If you go to other blog, it's their independent expertise. In the platform like Medium, you can see that multiple experts, it come into more over the same way. And maybe like if you want to hand-free, you might go to Kaggle kind of platforms. You can see that the trends and data sets, what they are pasting it.
And how do we vet the authenticity of the information?
That's purely depends on your domain expertise and your understanding. There is no as such. We are qualifying the thing, and there are certain data governing boards and other things when we are really implementing it. But all these things, right? But Medium, all these people verify that in terms of article or the people what rating, because it will not be directly pasted as a platform. The expertise team sits, and I'm also one of the advisor for the Medium. There are many advisors like me who can, each and every post, they can validate, and then only they can publish it once you post.
Okay. Got it. They do
So the
have the
concept and
verification.
workflow is very much authenticated by experts. And in terms of data sets, no one will validate. It's up to just for the practical experiment.
Got
But
it.
the article or the workflow, whatever they wrote, right? It is authenticated by many SMEs.
Got it. Got it.
Okay. A SME committee will sit every day. They'll review the articles which is posted, and then they'll publish.
Oh, interesting. It's a daily process over there.
It's a
That's
daily
great.
process.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
for the advice,
Thank
Radha.
you all, guys. I need to jump on
Thanks,
my other
everyone.
meetings in
Bye
next
bye.
3
Take
minutes.
care.
Thank you, Radhakrishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Kishan, do you have any closing comments?
No, thank you so much for everyone for actively participating, joining on a Saturday afternoon, and we look forward to host more such events. We would want you to be involved with us, with us as long as possible in as many events as possible. And just one thing, these events, consider this, these events as, we are in a time where we are actually living, where history is actually being made. Down 5 years, 10 years, these experiences are going to be very invaluable. So yeah, look forward to hosting more such events and having more interactions with the an audience like yours. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone.